Welcome back to Hoosier Homes and Hustles. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jessica Williams, and this is my co-host, Stacey Preston. We're both realtors with eXp Realty in Central Indiana. And if you enjoy real estate, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to join the hustle.
So today we're continuing our Battle of the Burbs series, where we highlight different Indy-area suburbs with the help of our eXp agents who know them best. And today we actually have two Avon, Indiana agents with us. Jessica Williams, who's my co-host, and then we also have Jessie Foltz from Avon. They will both be sharing information about Avon, some kind of great tips about living there and what you might need to know if you're considering calling Avon home. So before we dive in, I wanted to share a few quick market stats for Avon, Indiana, and these are as of 2024 from the Indiana Association of Realtors and RPR. The median sales price for Avon, Indiana is $345,000. Sellers are receiving 96.8% of their sales price. Average days on market is 19. Change in estimated value in the last 12 months is 1.7%, and change of estimated value in the last 2 years is 11.2%. So let's dive in. Jessie, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've lived in Avon, what you love to do outside of real estate, families, hobbies, those sorts of things.
Well, I first moved to Avon when I was 16 years old. So I've been living here for, I won't say exactly how long, but quite some time. I have 2 kids. They're 7 and 3, both little girls. And that's pretty much what I do outside of real estate.
That's your hobby, right?
Yeah, that's my hobby. And it's a fun hobby. I love doing it.
Now, every suburb has its perks. What's one thing you love about living in Avon?
Well, living in Avon, for me, I love because all of my family and friends are here. I also love its location. It's so close to Indianapolis, but it's also close to all the events in Hendricks County, and it's kind of like in the center of it. So it's easy to get to whatever's going on in Danville, Plainfield, Brownsburg. But then you can also be a part of everything in downtown Indy while still maintaining that suburb lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jessica,
Yes.
what's your one thing that you love about Avon?
It is the location to everything. Exactly what Jessie just said. In addition to that, the proximity to the airport.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, because my husband and I do love to travel. So that's a big reason as to
And
why.
I'll say I lived in Avon 2 years, so I can throw some stuff in as well. But that was one of the things I loved when we lived there is early morning flights. You don't have to get up so early. You're right there. It's just easy to get there.
But you can Uber if you need to,
Yes.
too, to the airport instead of having to leave your car.
We actually have multiple friends that ask to park at our house, and then we drive them. They're like, is the Williams shuttle service available
nice.
this weekend?
Hey, that goes into our hustles thing. You know,
Exactly.
gotta have those side hustles. All right. Well, next question. No place is perfect. So what is something that's maybe not your favorite thing about Avon?
Well, my friends know that I haven't loved the redistricting plan that the schools did, but I have come to a better understanding with it at this point. So,
And I will say on the redistricting in these growing suburbs, that is going to be a thing in all of them. So
Yes.
if you're considering a move, I wouldn't let in any of these suburbs, the fact that there's been a redistricting at the school scare you from that town because the other town's going to have it too. It's just in a growing area, you're going to have that. Unfortunately, it's not so
It's
fun
not
when
that
you're a
it just
parent.
happens once. It
Yeah,
can happen
it
multiple
continues
times.
to happen as they grow. So
well, and that's what I was kind of thinking, like going into this, I'm like, okay, that was a big negative for me that I dealt with this year. But I think it's more from a personal perspective because this will be the 3rd time my daughter has moved schools and she's only in 1st grade.
yeah, that's not ideal.
It's not, but Avon has also done a great job of keeping up with growth in that sense. So her classrooms have never been overwhelming.
Exactly. So there's benefits to it as well.
There is. So I changed my mindset a little bit. in the
Yeah,
past
there you
couple
go.
days.
It'll be good for her to build resilience and learn how to meet people and
Yeah.
build on those social skills. So Jessica, do you have something you want to share on maybe your not so favorite thing about Avon?
Yes, for me, and I actually feel this is for quite a few other people, is that there are too many chicken restaurants on 36, also known as Rockville Road.
See, I have to disagree. As a Brownsburg resident, we have 0 chicken restaurants.
Well, come down to Avon.
We do. We go eat chicken in Avon like multiple times a week. So I like the chicken restaurant.
Because we have all the options.
You do.
Yeah.
In like half a mile.
And 2 Chick-fil-A's. Brownsburg doesn't even have
We
one.
just have a KFC. That's all we have.
Well, we lost our KFC.
So,
So.
well, come see us in
Because
Brownsburg.
And maybe it was because of all the other chicken options.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. On a serious note, we're going to Chick-fil-A after this.
Yeah.
A lot of folks ask about schools when choosing a place to live. And Jessie, I know you've got some experience with the schools from an elementary standpoint, and Jessica has some on the high school. So we'll talk to both of you about that. But what do you want to share about having kids in the Avon School District?
I really do love Avon schools. So I actually briefly lived in Crawfordsville before I came back here, and it was a big decision for me when I was choosing which part of Hendricks County. And I chose Avon partially because of the schools and because we know so many people here, and they've done a great job. I have a very high energy daughter. She's awesome, wonderful. She's going to do such big things in this life, but it can be a lot to manage for a teacher sometimes. And they have, they have done such a great job at communicating with me, and they're always available. And there's all these different programs, whether that be just different groups that the kids have or different events. I mean, she just went to a sneaker ball about 2 weeks ago. So, and they taped a teacher to the wall, which she
Who wouldn't love to do that?
Right.
Yeah, right.
And she loved it. And then they were raising money. We were bringing food pantry items and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what they were raising money for, but it was really cool. And the kids loved it. And they just do so many things like that keep them engaged. And
let's just give a shout out to the teacher who got taped to the wall, right?
Right.
I mean, like being a teacher is not an easy job.
Did they like lose a bet or something?
It had to have been fundraiser
teacher?
related, I'm sure.
They do some really fun stuff. So for attendance, they will like encourage the kids to come. It's elementary school. So at the end of the day, it's up to the parents. But if they're like, if we have this many students that attend this much of the time, then you get to pie the principal.
Oh.
And then the principal kissed a pig last year too. So they do some
Like on the lips?
I don't know. It's just what she was coming home and telling me. I do know what happened because they mentioned it in Parent Square. But that's fun though. Like that's stuff that she looks forward to the entire year.
Oh yeah.
So they do a lot of cool stuff for the kids.
Good. So Jessica, how about you? Any things you want to share about the high school? So I know you have some experience with that now.
Yeah, I will say our experience with the high school is limited basically because we've hosted foreign exchange students. So we've had one 3 years ago and one currently. But Avon High School specifically is known for the Avon Marching Band. So if you have students that are really involved in that, it might be something to consider. They're actually back-to-back national champions for the Bands of America Grand National Championship as of November 2024. I think it was their 5th winning in a row. They were actually just in the Rose Bowl parade. I think that they got mentioned that they were from Plainfield in the actual parade announcements, but it was from Avon. So that's kind of cool, especially, again, if your kids are interested in band. So I'd like to dive deeper into the schools and even tax referendums. Avon's school system has been growing fast. In fact, enrollment growth has been so steady, they've decided to add a 3rd middle school and expanded or renovated every school in the district to keep up. This is a community investing in education, not just reacting to it. In 2018, Avon voters approved a school referendum. And here's the kicker. Those funds were not used for buses, buildings, tech, and administrative salaries. Instead, voters were promised 3 specific goals. First being lower class sizes. The second, increasing teacher compensation. And then the third, expanding student support and activities. And well, believe it or not, they've met those goals. With the first goal, they added 142 new staff positions added across all grade levels. The second, they increased teacher pay. Compared to 2017, starting salaries increased by 30%. If you were mid-level, it increased by 52%, and top tier increased by 23%. The third goal was to add student support and activities by having 31 new support roles added, which included 60 plus clubs at Avon High School and 20 plus clubs at each middle school. So yeah, that referendum money, it's being put to good use. Now, as a taxpayer, I appreciate when an investment is smart. Avon has lowered its referendum tax rate by 32% since 2018, while still keeping promises. And the academic wins, let's touch on that. Avon High School is a 2023 National Blue Ribbon School, the only public high school in Indiana to earn that title, with a graduation rate of 97.8%, of which 27% of students earn a 4.0 GPA or higher. And over 9,000 credits for college were earned through the AP courses, which equates to about $3.8 million in college savings. Those are real results that are changing lives for both students and families.
Yeah, I'll just say I know I have a lot of friends in Avon and mostly like the high school age. And the big high schools just have so many opportunities for kids. I mean, just like the band, but it's also the show choirs and sports
The
and
classes.
yeah,
We were going over the classes she could
right.
choose, and my husband was like, I want to go. I want to
I
take some
know.
of these classes.
And I mean, the college credits they can get while they're there, it's amazing. And there are tons of opportunities. So I agree. The school district is great if you're looking for the big school district.
Yeah.
Some people don't love that. So it's definitely a larger high school. Let's move on to development. So developments can definitely change the landscape of a town. And I know there's some major ones going on in Avon. So Jessie, what are some that you would like to highlight today?
So I actually recently was learning about the Easton Gray project that is
Yes.
set to be completed in August of 2026. That's what they're shooting for, you know.
So maybe 2027.
Yeah.
I think that seems really
Yeah.
aggressive, as big as that is, but I'm sure parts of it will be open by then.
I
so.
was reading one article. This was like one of the first ones they came out with, and they were saying Q4 of 2024. And I'm like, which part of this $5 million development are you guys going to have done in a year?
I think there's some utility pipes in the ground. Like,
Yeah.
that's about it. So I just want to jump in that Avon, for anyone that maybe has never been there, has always kind of been known as just one big giant strip mall. There's no downtown or community gathering space in that town, as opposed to some of our other suburbs that really offer that. So that's what is so exciting about this development is there's actually going to be a downtown and a gathering space and kind of more of that community feel versus just one road with all the retail.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was very cool when I read that because we've never had kind of that center.
Yeah.
right.
So I'm super excited for the events and I'm sure that we're going to have in Avon now instead of
Yes.
having to travel to the nearby towns to kind of go to their squares. And I think it's pretty cool. Also, it's going to be a 55 plus community, but they're also going to have single family homes. And I was actually just reading an article that there's some quote unquote empty nesters that have had their families move into the single family home side. So they get to stay close to their families and kind of be a part of this big development.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Jessica, do you have anything you want to add to the developments that are happening in Avon?
In addition to the development there, it's nice that it's going to be connecting a lot of the parks that are there, like with the trails, there's streams. I mean, these parks my husband goes to quite a bit to play disc golf.
So let's talk advice. What is something that you would share with someone if they were moving to Avon?
Say if you're a business owner, maybe don't open a chicken store.
Okay,
Yeah.
noted. I would say maybe just know that it's a growing suburb and you're going to be dealing with construction for a while too, which
Some
I don't
congestion.
think it's ever ended as far as it's always under construction.
It's never
I'm pretty
ending.
sure like the entirety of Indiana is
Yeah.
always under some level
Yeah.
of construction at
Yeah.
one point or another. But you know, it's job security.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you're considering a move to Avon, that's great news, but let's keep it real. There will be another referendum vote in 2026. Avon renews theirs every 8 years. And if you're financing a home, an increased tax rate could mean a higher monthly mortgage payment down the line. And with the proposed new property tax bills in Indiana, there is uncertainty around how future referendums will be structured and how much they will ask for. So, my advice, when budgeting, build in some breathing room, plan for the current reality, but also what could happen in a few years.
We love to support local businesses. So I was hoping that you guys could tell us about your favorite local businesses in Avon. Jessica, why don't you start?
Well, let's start with food because who doesn't love food?
It's a good place to start.
Right. Opa, if you like Greek food, is amazing. Their grilled chicken that they have in there, I don't know what they put on it, but I would buy it like in bulk. It is so good, so fresh, delicious. And then if you're looking maybe for an affordable breakfast place, I do love Big Apple Bagel. And then if you're looking for a good workout, which I used to go here, love it. They're locally owned, is 9 Rounds. So if you're looking to release a little stress by kicking and punching, which is what I personally loved, check out 9 Rounds.
Okay, I have to say Opa is my favorite restaurant probably in all of Hendricks County.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely love it. And
I just went there for my birthday.
I will say the lighter side is this platter that comes out like this big.
Not so light.
And it actually is pretty healthy and it'll feed you for like 2 or 3 meals. It's fantastic. So I do love that restaurant. Jessie, I hear you have some gluten-free options. So, what are your favorite gluten-free dining options in Avon?
I've been relatively limited on where I can eat sometimes. A lot of restaurants are becoming more gluten friendly forward, but I love going to Cooper's Hawk here and also BJ's because they are both very friendly to my allergy and they make sure to prepare the food separately. And it's fun for me to be able to go out,
Actually, go out
actually
and
eat out.
Yes.
And not get sick.
Yeah. And nothing bunt cakes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They have gluten-free options
They
there too?
do.
Okay.
It's like
Is-
the first time that I've been able to have a sweet treat in quite some
Is
time.
it actually good?
It is
'Cause I know
very good.
sometimes the gluten-free baked goods are like
Not
they
so
kind of
good.
fall apart.
They can be dry and
Yeah,
crumbly.
yeah.
No, theirs is, I hate the word moist, but it's very good.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good gluten-free cake, sweet treat, I would definitely check them out.
Okay. That sounds great. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for sharing those. All right. Well, thank you both, Jessica and Jessie, for sharing your insights on living in Avon and moving to Avon. If our listeners want to get in contact with you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
So my email is jessie@jessiesoldit.com and my phone number is 317-918-5166.
Great. And we will have that in the show notes too, so people can grab that there. Be sure to drop a comment if you have any questions about living in Avon or if you have a suburb you'd like for us to feature next.
And that's it for today's episode. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's hustle smarter together.
We'll see you next time.